Ready. Play.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to have you all on board again. Mario and I are here to take you through today's action. But once again, Mario is going to have to do most of the work because he's seen most of the matches. I only caught the last match, really. Mario, let's go straight for it. Tell me your thoughts on Andrey Rublev's straight sets win over Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah, I remember yesterday we were saying that Tsitsipas and Rublev were, in our opinion, slight favorite. And yeah, we were wrong because they both won very easily, both of them. Andrei Rublev played very well, as yesterday, so no surprise. But yeah, Alcaraz quite struggling a little bit physically, in my opinion. He was a bit late when Rublev was going faster. When his shots, Alcaraz was not so ready like usual. And so yeah, the result is clear. Rublev did his job very well and very easily, to be honest. But yeah, I know that we can't judge Carlos from this performance. So nothing to be worried about, in my opinion, about Alcaraz. But still good signs from Andrey Rublev, because he seems finding his shots, and he seems flying in these exhibition matches. Yeah, just the fact I was saying yesterday that probably Rublev is one of the 2-3 best players when things matters less.
Yeah.
Because probably he struggles a bit when he has to handle a bit of pressure, and is in this kind of tournaments when he's able to hit with a free state of mind. Yeah, it's very difficult to fight.
Oh, Mario,
with him, and so Carlos Alcaraz was not. Okay, that's okay. Okay. And so yeah, the result has been a clear consequence of all this. Just like the other match between Tsitsipas and Ruud, it's quite the same situation.
Yeah, you're breaking up again, Mario. Don't worry about it. Listen, I will fill in the gaps while... Oh, you're back. Yeah, that's true. Listen, what about the other match we had? Obviously, Tsitsipas. Listen, to be honest with you, I don't know. I didn't see a lot of this match. But if you'd said to me this morning, who is going to win out of course, we had the 5th place match as well, but whatever you think about that. If you said to me this morning, who's going to win out of Cam Norrie and Borna Coric, I probably would have gone Cam Norrie maybe in 3. It was Cam Norrie in straight sets. By the way, for those of you out there that are a little bit confused about where we're at in terms of this tournament, if you like, in this tournament, they have an extra match for the people that lost on the Friday. Basically, matches is all good. You know, I think everybody needs matches right now. If you've had 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks off, for example, or you're coming back from injury like Carlos, you kind of want some matches to go into the new year under your belt. So we had an extra match this morning, which is basically, if there's an exhibition, this was like an extra exhibition. But I think it does matter to the players. Anyway, back to my predictions, if you like. I also would have said Tsitsipas would be Casper Ruud. I think, again, Casper Ruud had the exhibitions in Latin America, but they were really very friendly, if you like. I think really he's not really had a competitive match, if you like, or any competition since Turin, whereas Tsitsipas has been playing the last 7, 8, 9 days, also in that part of the world. And I also would have had Casper Ruud. Sorry, I also would have had Andrey Rublev winning his match against Carlos Alcaraz. I think the thing that surprised me, though, Mario, particularly probably Tsitsipas Ruud in a way, was the gap between the opponents. Tsitsipas was far the better player, right?
Yeah, Casper Ruud has has been through a lot of things during the last month. He went in South America playing against Rafa after going and reaching the final in Turin. Then he went some days on holidays, and then he reached the Abu Dhabi to play this exhibition tournament. So he wasn't fresh. Tsitsipas played a very, very good match, missing very, very few shots. I read five unforced errors in 2 sets, so almost a perfect match. On the other side, Casper Ruud wasn't as ready as he always is, because he's always one of the most consistent players. But he wasn't fresh physically, and probably he wasn't so fresh mentally to be ready to compete with a great opponent as Tsitsipas, who is one of the strongest tennis players in the world. And so if you are not 100% against a guy like Tsitsipas, you're going to lose straight away. And this is what happened. Tsitsipas has been a far better player, and he deserved to reach the final of this exhibition tournament after having struggled a bit in his last exhibition in Saudi Arabia. Now he's playing well. He's finding his tennis, his level, so a deserved final for him.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe that's a good sign for him. Any thoughts? Let's go back to the first match, the most recent match. What are your thoughts on Alcaraz's performance today? Anything to be positive about, negative about? What are your thoughts? Bearing in mind he lost obviously 2-1. What are your thoughts on Alcaraz and where he is?
Well, for me, the most important thing remained the fact that he's been able to be back on court. And probably being an exhibition match is also better for him, because it's not like already a match that counts a lot. So the most positive things is to be able to step again on court and to play against a great player like Andrey Rublev, who is one of the contenders for main tournament. Nothing special about his level today, to be honest, but we could have been expected this kind of performance, especially because Rublev played a very good match, and so he wasn't so ready physically, in my opinion, and he needs to be faster and to be more present mentally and with his level to be able to show again what he's able to do, but not as much to be worried about. Again, I would say, because it's still first match after a big injury, because abdominal injuries are not so easy to handle. So nothing very good about his level today, but still nothing to be worried about, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Any thoughts? Let's go to Borna Coric against Cam Norrie. We've not really spoken about that match. What were your thoughts on Cam Norrie's level? Coric, of course, has had a fantastic year in so many ways, of course, coming back from injury and winning in Cincinnati. But I do think that after Cincinnati, he also had another sort of downward dip. I don't know if he's had any more little issues as well. But I'm wondering if maybe with Coric, and again, I could be reading too much into today's match, but I wonder if we're going to see this from Coric in a way, bearing in mind how long he was out injured. We're going to see bursts of really good form like he had in Cincinnati. Then we're going to see a period of a lack of consistency, if you like. And I still think it might be a few more months, injury-free, hopefully, before we see Coric really consistently beating top 20 players.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's never been like the most consistent guy on tour. To be honest, since he was very young, he's had very, very good weeks throughout his career, but sometimes he can fall down sometimes against the lower ranked player, which is not the case today because Norrie is one of the most consistent players, except for the end of the year, which he suffered a bit again, some surprising losses, but he's been throughout all the last year one of the best. So I was picking Cameron Norrie too before the match, before the beginning of the match. Not surprised about the result. Probably even less tight that the result can suggest, in my opinion. Okay. Norrie has been the better player, and probably today is a better player than Borna Coric, despite what Coric is able to do, like we saw in Cincinnati, for example. But yeah, Coric needs, also in my opinion, some months injury-free, playing tournament and then another tournament, another week, to try to be more consistent with his results. But yeah, we still saw that he's able to find some form and some very dangerous form, I have to say. In fact, one thing about Coric is that he's a winning head-to-head record with most of the players that are today in the top 10. So it's a sign that he's competitive enough to find his level and to beat the top players. But sometimes, yeah, he can fall and play quite flat in some matches and some weeks, as we were seeing in these past weeks and in the year.
Yeah, right. Okay, so what about Cam Norrie? Are we excited? Are we just expecting another year from him next year in a similar sort of way to this year, that he'll be somewhere between 11 and 20 in the world? He may make a slam semi-final like he did at Wimbledon, or that maybe it's harsh, but a bit like with Casper Ruud, although I think Casper Ruud is obviously a little bit further up in the development. I don't know what more Cam Norrie can do. I think with somebody like Tsitsipas, perhaps even Borna Coric as well to some extent, and maybe Rublev too, we can see this and we can see that, and we go, okay, if they could just be consistent for a couple of weeks. But I don't really know what more Cam Norrie can do, other than maybe get a little bit lucky with a draw at a slam, maybe get fortunate in that Djokovic or Rafa or Carlos go out early and then suddenly it opens the field up, if you like. I just don't really know what more he can do to go that next step. I think you're frozen again, Mario. We've lost Mario briefly, but maybe he will be back with us as and when. Let me know in the live chat whether you... there you are, Mario. Okay. You're back.
I don't know. Today the connection is so. No, by the way, yeah, about Cameron Norrie. Considering also the Wimbledon performance, he would have been number 10 in the world right now. So still probably we would have been an even better consideration of his season, probably, because seeing that 10 on his ranking number, it makes a different perspective about things, probably. But yeah, I agree with what you said. But I also think that Cameron Norrie has a very, very strong mentality. And so this can make the difference in some weeks of the year. So yeah, I agree that he's able to reach another great result like he did in Wimbledon. I think that probably staying in the top 15 in the world, even in 2023, would have been a nice season for him. But why not? In his interviews, he's saying that he still wants to try to improve. He set some very ambitious goals for himself, and I think it's fair, because if you don't have some ambition goals, probably you won't improve. So you have to try to overcome your limits. And so I also think that probably, why not, he will be able also to spend some more times, even a few weeks again in the top 10. Why not? But yeah, I think that probably top 15 in the world can be a very, very good season again for him, in my opinion.
Okay, let's have a quick look at the action for tomorrow. We will have, of course, in the first match, we'll have Casper Ruud will play Carlos Alcaraz in, of course, a rematch of their US Open final. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Bearing in mind, of course, Alcaraz in 2022 also beat Casper Ruud in Miami. And another additional thing for Alcaraz in particular is that he's had another match today. Perhaps he'll be a bit more match ready tomorrow. What are your thoughts on Casper Ruud against Alcaraz?
Well, it's difficult to predict, because today we saw two average performance from both. So it's quite difficult to predict who's gonna enter the match better between the two. I still think that in the matchup, Alcaraz has something more. And so I see him like 60-40 favorite against Ruud. What happened to the light?
Mario's into the darkness.
Okay. You can see me.
I can see you just about. I can see your face, but maybe you've had a power cut.
I don't know what happened.
It could be like what happened in Napoli earlier this year.
Yeah, exactly. More. Okay,
hey,
we're back. We're back. And so yeah, I was saying Alcaraz for me is favorite. I expect him to win tomorrow, because given probably the same form, a bad form for both of them, for what we have seen today, I still think that Alcaraz has something more, and probably is gonna win this match. But for both of them, it's important to have another match. My dog. It's important for both of them playing another match, another top match against a great opponent, because both of them did great things over the last month. So yes, my prediction is that Alcaraz is going to win and finish this exhibition event as the third ranked player. But never count Casper Ruud out. we always predict him probably to be like in a little bit decline, and he's often he likes to prove us wrong. So let's see tomorrow.
He does. And of course, the other match tomorrow is Tsitsipas against No Tools Rublev. So That's something to look forward to, bearing in mind, of course, they played just a few weeks ago in Turin. Rublev wins, and afterwards Stefanos said he couldn't believe that he lost to the worst player, if you like, and also that his opponent, Andrey Rublev, had no tools, no weapons, if you like, for those of you unsure exactly what that means. No strong capabilities, which I think is a bit harsh. I think Rublev's forehand in particular needs to be respected and will have to be respected tomorrow. What are your thoughts on this match?
Rublev is serving very, very well in this week. He served amazing against Chorich yesterday, and he served very, very good today in crucial moments because Alcaraz had some break points, both in the first and in the second set. But Andrey Rublev has been very, very good with his serve, so probably this can make a difference. I still believe that Tsitsipas has a more complete game. Probably Rublev has, using that expression, probably Tsitsipas has a few more tools than Andrey Rublev, but not because Rublev has few tools, but because Tsitsipas, according to me, is able to mix things a little bit more. Going to the net, even doing some serve and volley, trying something different with the slice. It's a battle of a very, very strong forehand. What to say? Probably this match could end in a long time. Probably. I think Tsitsipas is favorite. I think he'll win this match.
Yeah.
He played probably watching all these matches of this week in Abu Dhabi. Probably has been the best player with his level, playing two very clear matches against Norrie and Ruud, which is still two very consistent players, so not easy to do. I think probably he's his favorite in my opinion.
I completely agree. Yeah, I see Tsitsipas. Listen, Rublev could easily win as well because, as you say, he's serving so well, which, by the way, we talk about needing to improve. I think Rublev, and particularly on the second serve, really needs to improve. Tsitsipas, probably the return. I know he's brought a slice element to his game a little bit, and I think that's why we've seen one or two improvements on grass. But let's see. Listen, Rublev could easily win that, so we're not writing him off. But I would probably just towards Tsitsipas as well, because I think he does have one or two more weapons than his opponent. Any final thoughts, by the way? I think there's no real big tennis news today off the court as such. I don't think I've missed any new awards that have been announced, and no more controversies today. No more former players being released from prison and sent home. So listen, at this point, I'm just going to mention to our audience that next week, as of Monday, we have 7 episodes coming your way in 7 days. We've also got a new website as well, talkingtennis.com. I'll bring that up for you on the screen in a second. But yeah, just to talk to you about these episodes next week that we've got lined up for you. On Monday, I think, is the first episode, and we will see a review of, as I say, 7 matches of the year. I think the first one I've got, oh yes, I know exactly what it is. It's Alcaraz against, it's Rafael Nadal against Djokovic. I'll bring up the website and then I can talk us through this. I will come back to you in a second, Mario, but just give me a second while I get my technology on. So here's the website, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take poor old no tools Rublev off the screen so we get a better look at it. Our website is still in its infancy. It's still in its early period. So we're still getting a few bits and pieces together. But if you want sort of some latest features, I've got a couple of articles on here for you to read by our guest writer, Tom Jones, has penned a couple of pieces, one about finishing late at night and watching TV for the US Open, as well as Paula Badosa and where she is currently at. Here we got on the homepage, I decided to stick Rafa Nadal up top just because I think it looks quite nice, but that's actually from a press conference earlier this year. But all of our latest videos are down here. And here, for example, we have exactly what I was just talking to you about, which is next week. We will have 7 reviews in 7 days. beginning on Monday at 7 p.m. GMT, although that will be 8 p.m. Central European time and just after midnight in New Delhi, as we can see some of the times up here on the screen. Yeah, Rafa Nadal against Djokovic is the first episode on Monday night with Owen Lewis. Him and I had a good chat about that. Blair Henley and I had a good chat about Garcia against Kasatkina, that dramatic match in Fort Worth. And then on Wednesday will be Serena's run at the US Open with Pam Shriver. Followed by Thursday, we've got Rafa against Taylor Fritz at Wimbledon with Robbie Koenig. All of these 7 p.m. GMT. Then the following day, I think it's the 23rd of December, will be Carlos Alcaraz, Yannick Sinner with Gil Gross. And then the final episode, which will be on the 25th of December, the final episode will be on the 24th of December, I think, will be Rafa Nadal. You get the idea anyway. 7 matches, 7 days. It's all coming your way. That I will be promoting it on Twitter, I'm sure, at least at Talking Tennis TT. So make sure you check out our website and all of those other things. Mario, come back a second, Mario, because I do want to have a quick word with you about this. There are 7 matches there, okay? And I would love to also still talk about, I think I've got on my agenda, I might be lucky and get an episode for Carlos Alcaraz, Novak Djokovic at Madrid. I think that would be an amazing match. So if anybody's watching and you were there for that match in Madrid I think it was May of 2022, please get in touch because I'm keen to talk to somebody about that match. Also, if you were at either as a journalist or a fan, Novak Djokovic, Holger Rune as well, I would love to talk to you about that match at Paris-Bercy. Mario, are there any other matches you think should be considered as matches of 2022?
I was thinking it's a very good final, a female final in Charleston between Casper and Bench, which is a very good match. I was remembering that one because today I was thinking about the tournaments that received the awards. And Charleston was one of them, and I was thinking about that final, which was very, very exciting.
Between Bencic and Onjabeur, right?
Bencic won that title.
Yeah, she beat Onjabeur,
in a very, very close battle. She beat Onjabeur, right? Yeah. That one. It was a very, very good match, I remember. And I was thinking, probably also a match that played in the wind between Nadal and Alcaraz would have kind of strange to make some comments about that match, which was very exciting because playing in those wild conditions, it's something that we are not so used to see, and it can be also quite interesting to say something about how the players handled that those kinds of conditions and that kind of wind. It was like a storm in some moment, but I think both were very, very good, and I was also very, very surprised about Carlos Alcaraz because the youngest players with less experience, but he did an amazing job. Probably these two matches are two possible very, very good choices, one male and one female match.
Nice, Mario. Thank you for those suggestions, and I agree that Rafa match against Carlos was extremely high level and extremely exciting despite the conditions. Listen, Mario, thank you for joining me today for this episode of Talking Tennis.
Thank you. Sorry for if the connection was not so great today, but it's been a very good pleasure as always.
Thank you, Mario. We had a little bit of fun as well when your light went out. But listen, this is the modern world we live in where we are reliant on technology. These things can happen, but your connection was good enough for 99% of the time. And we certainly got your message. Listen, to the rest of you as well, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And there's a notification bell in the corner somewhere on your screens. You can click that and you'll always be aware of whenever we go live. Make sure you check out our website as well, talking-tennis.com, for all the latest information so you don't miss out on all things tennis. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.